Hi, I'm Ross Callaghan. I'm about to start on another model ship. This time it's the famous Santa Maria, Christopher Columbus's ship that he went on to discover the Americas way back in 1492. This particular kit is a Graupner kit that goes way back to the 1960s, and some of the kit is missing, so I'll be improvising quite a bit along the way. It's supposed to be built as solid balsa for the hull, but I'll be doing it by planking over bulkheads. Just a little bit of history. Christopher Columbus departed on the Santa Maria, assisted by the Nina and the Pinta in 1492, seeking to find a way by sea to India, where trade took place, major trade. They discovered land in Haiti, which was the first discovery in the Americas. And on Christmas night, 1492, the Santa Maria went aground and was lost. Before this, the Pinta had deserted, and there wasn't enough room on the Nina to take everybody back, but the Pinta came back, and they used wood from the Santa Maria to repair the ships, and the Nina and the Pinta made it back to Spain. So this is a very, very historic boat. No one knows what the Santa Maria actually looked like, but there have been many replicas made of her, and this particular model is based on the 1892 400th anniversary of the Santa Maria, and it's a true-to-life model of that particular replica. To make the hull, I first of all created a keel and a number of frames based on the pictures in the plan, and then started planking it up. To do the planking, I had to bend the planks, and for that I used a soldering iron on the inside, and that enables them to be bent reasonably easily. Finally, once the hull was all planked, I used a filler to make sure that everything was nice and smooth, and then put on the sides. They were a bit tricky to bend to get into shape, but soon the basics of the hull was in place, and then I put on the upper decks and all of the rear of the boat. A bit tricky, but it all came together. Same with the front, and then all of the superstructure that goes around the decks. It's quite interesting doing the lattice work and the wood on the sides to protect the boat, and I was very pleased with how the name Santa Maria came out. Then had to make the ship's boats. They're made out of balsa, and all the little other things that go on the decks. Pretty happy with the little fireplace there. It looks good. So finally the hull of the Santa Maria is ready, and the various masts can go in place, and we're ready to do the rigging. The back half of the model looks very smart with all that lattice work there. The planking has come together very smoothly, and there's the front. Inside on the decks, looks great. For the rigging, all you get to help you do it are these 4 diagrams of the standing rigging, the running rigging, and then the rigging for the sails, and then an overall diagram of all of the rigging. And as you can see, it's quite small and quite complicated. For the rigging, you put on the bowsprit, and the 3 masts, and then the stern sprit there, and then attached all of the fixed rigging, or the standing rigging that doesn't move, that hold the sprits and the masts in place. Shrouds here hold the main mast up, and they've got the ratlines which the sailors use to climb up to service the sails. I have my own special method for doing the ratlines. So go in and out all the way across, and then when I come back I go under and over. So over, then under, then over, then under, and so on across. So we get it like that, twist it around, get it into position, and then put some glue on it. Right across like that, and it's pretty close with a snip on the end. So once the standing rigging is finished, then it's time to do the running rigging. I put together the yards, and at the same time my wife was making the sails. Then attached the sails to the yards, and first one on was the spritsail. Then down the back as the mizzen sail went on, and then once they were all in place with all their running rigging, did the foresail. Next to go on was the topsail and the mainsail. And again they've got all the running rigging to control the yards and to control the sails. Final part of the build for the Santa Maria was to put on the accessories. Nice little anchor there, fireplace, and the ship's boats, wee cannons, and the end result is a pretty smart model, I reckon. So there you are, the Santa Maria is finished, and I must say it's been a thoroughly enjoyable experience creating this model. It was tricky because I didn't have the full kit and had to improvise to make the hull, and the instructions weren't too clear either, so especially for the rigging, so had to improvise for that. But the end result, I reckon, is something that I feel very proud of. I've made these models for a legacy for my grandchildren, and the Santa Maria went out with the Nina and the Pinta, and so I'm now encouraged to make 2 more models for another 2 grandchildren. So overall it's been a thoroughly enjoyable process. Lots of challenges along the way, but you just work your way through and overcome all the challenges, and the end result, I reckon, is a pretty wonderful model. Thoroughly enjoyable.